for the dealers, for those in the space that are watching this, are you saying that the dealer can tailor their AI approach with CarBot?
Well, they can with CarBot, and candidly, they should with nearly any other product out there. Uh, the AI space got big quick.
Yeah.
There are so many AI companies popping up in news feeds, et cetera. We developed the CarBot brand over 4 years ago, and it was about automation. Bot used to be about automation. Bot didn't used to mean AI.
Yeah.
But today, it is, I don't want to minimize the hard work that goes into building the products, but the rate that the ecosystem has evolved so quickly, so much more powerful, that implementing these things and having the flexibility is about letting go of the chains of the past, if I could say it that way.
Yep.
For a very long time, we talked about in call center operation space and at volume larger BDCs, how even the call center software had a legacy anchor.
Yeah.
We're anchored to doing something because it's how we've always done it. We've invested so much in that way of doing it that the risk of change is too great for us to accept. Well, we've gone through this internally. We have had voice AI in production in the real world for 3 years. We don't have a sales team. You will be very hard pressed to find a dealer-facing salesperson at CarBot. We work on repeat and referral business. Dealers that will make adjustments, they typically come back, usually within 2 quarters. And from that, we have this legacy infrastructure of our human BDC team. Let's get the good logos and the all the coding up here, which working on earlier with our CTO, that we had so much invested in our legacy infrastructure with our humans, even offering to sell voice AI. People are, what are you, crazy? Your dealers can cut their bill in half. Your revenue is going to go down in half.
How?
Well, because if a dealer would elect to implement AI, because they will now, whereas a year ago they wouldn't. There was a 2 to 3 year span where dealers would question CarBot and BDC pros and be like, well, wait, is this AI talking to my customers? I don't want AI talking to my customers. And no, we were always human forward. We didn't put AI out front. And then we started testing it. And then we started implementing certain use cases. And then we even started putting this technology in other spaces, like healthcare.
Wow.
So from a compliance standpoint or risk standpoint, does a dealer really think they have more risk than their doctor?
I would hope not.
Right. So that is the assurance. That is where things have come around. That we have AI handling the front desk in a doctor's office, scheduling appointments. It is secure. It is HIPAA compliant. It can approach and have the right guardrails, that we don't make clinical decisions. Well, the AI thing that happened on LinkedIn like 2 years ago where the guy got a Chevy truck for free or something because the AI bot told him, like, that just doesn't have to exist.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, because there are checks, there are balances. The space is so mature. And if you're running on any of these public models and you've worked in ChatGPT, ChatGPT will tell you what it won't do and what it won't kind of go past. A dealer, to your point here, John, that you asked me about 3 minutes ago, I don't think I've answered yet. Yes, every element of your AI with CarBot, you can customize. It is a core tenet of how we built CarBot. We made it customizable so that every dealer can operate the way that they need to. Because 2 dealers on other sides of the street have different workflows and operate differently. So why try to jam in the vendor's way of doing things? Our way was, you know what? Let's take our suite of software. This is software we've built. We built this all on tier A providers. So when our software goes down, it's because Amazon went down or Google went down or Twilio went down. That, 70, 80, 90% of American retail businesses are having a technology outage. We're not alone. We've been through CRM outages and those things. We know how to overcome. We build redundancy. If an AI server fails, we can back it up with humans. I don't know many other AI companies that have a team of humans that can answer phone calls.
No, that's great.
We designed the software stack that a dealer can customize literally every component of it. They want to change a font, they want to change a color, they want templates to work a different way, they want their customer to hear something different. If they want to record their voice, John, If a dealer would like to clone their voice and have their voice handle every phone call for their dealership, we can do that. And it's not a heavy lift.
Well, and this is the other thing that stood out to me when we first started talking about this is I thought to myself, like, you're going to implement this whole solution. Like, it sounds like it's a lot of push-ups and a lot of work, and it's super expensive, and you're like, what if I told you just having the dealer's phone number, we can give a report card generated by AI on every single phone call that takes place in the dealership, and it's effortless.
Effortless. It really is. And it's we had to learn this. You don't know what you don't know. There's some effect or something they call where the less you know, the more confident you are type thing.
Yeah.
There's like this wave. So when I go back 6-7 years ago, as kind of we started up and everything was bubble gum and duct tape, as many things can be. We had a period where I kept shopping for solutions. And they didn't exist for us. And if we couldn't find them, then they didn't exist for dealers either. And we started on the path of building. So, these things run on APIs, which are just the way two kind of cloud servers talk to each other with a standard. And once you learn some of that standard and some of that language, it's like building a spreadsheet. I'm certain that you have folks listening to the podcast that get deep in spreadsheets, that like their deep formulas. I mean, I think of some finance managers and some tracking documents, and all 9 tabs talk to each other, and here's the right? So it's not too dissimilar from that in building code and building applications and building these workflows. And in doing that, connecting the AI, all we need is a phone number. The implementation for us on the phone number piece is as simple as hopping a tracking number the way you've been doing for 30 or 40 years with, Marchex or Car Wars or Call Review or any of the other tracking companies. Who's calling? Where we have a phone number we display on an ad that hops through a system and then it rings in here to our dealership. It's that cut and dry.
Well, and when we talked about this before, you and I, my fear was that like this report card thing was going to be like this hammer, right?
Yeah.
And we spent some time talking about that, where it's like, no, it's going to show everything, meaning that sometimes it's going to give a very favorable grade because they did a great job, right?
Absolutely.
And what a great way to recognize your people who are out there on the front line working with customers.
Yes.
There's also a coaching opportunity if we end up failing, which inevitably we will, right? There's a high failure rate. And so if there's something that we didn't do well, then let's work on that, right? Training's an important piece, as we both know. We've spent some time talking about that, right? Automac spends a lot of time and effort on training, right? Salespeople and finance managers, leaders, so on and so forth. With that being said, though, like, what an incredible tool to help with training, right?
Yes.
You train it, then you monitor it, then you coach it, right?
Yep.
It's just kind of guesswork without something like this to know what's really occurring and going on.